Moving on to number 2 of week 4. Top 5 games of the week. My thoughts, my recap. This game is held near and dear to my heart as it is the Bills. Ravens. The Bills are my team. I don't have a Bills shirt on, but I have a Rochester Red Wings shirt on, so close enough. The Buffalo Bills end up winning this game, being down 17 points in the first half, getting a touchdown before half. Beautifully done. Great way to handle the clock. And then going in to the third quarter, getting 10 more points, and then pulling it off with a drive at the end. Let's look at the stats. Tale of two halves, two teams that played almost the exact same way. Buffalo Bills are 3 for 26, 326 yards. Ravens 296, pretty close. Turnovers 2-2, pretty close. Red zone 2 for 3, 2 for 4. That 2 for 4, that 4 is one big mistake that happens for the Ravens. 4 for 11, 6 for 13. Jackson has some pretty low passing numbers. They were playing in a bit of the remnants of Hurricane Ian, and it was raining a lot, and the game was pretty sloppy. Lots of drop passes in the first half. The Bills opened the first half with 2 turnovers. That's not great. The Ravens jump out to an early lead, getting short fields, making it easy, and then the Ravens kind of, have the second half, which is really similar to the first half the Bills had, which was them not scoring any points and throwing 2 interceptions. One of them batted up and then picked out of the air, which one of Josh Allen's interception also was tipped and then intercepted. But the game is magnificent for many other reasons, as these two teams have been good. Oh, MVP versus MVP. They both look like MVP candidates. Jackson leading the league in touchdowns. Allen leading the league in yards. Who's going to come out on top and blah, blah, blah. And also Josh Allen and the Bills not being able to win close games for over a year. They've lost 7 close games in a row. And they were getting a reputation, I guess. A reputation of not being able to come through in the clutch. Josh Allen getting the reputation of not being able to come through in the clutch, although he played unbelievable against the Chiefs, and then the defense blew it, so I don't know how that works. And then the defense plays well in other games where Josh Allen doesn't come through. And then they also went 5-1 in close games, and the only game that they lost that year was the Hail Murray in 2020. So it was always just kind of empty. It didn't hold any water. If the Bills, close games are tough, and they bounce either way. But the Bills finally get one as they beat the Ravens by 3. And now we'll get to the most controversial. Well, okay, no. Let's talk about a couple plays in this game by Lamar Jackson where I threw my phone, screamed at my TV, and rolled around and cried. And I was very upset on the fumble. Not the pick, that was early on, but then the fumble, that made me pretty mad. And then Jackson on 2nd and 19 drops back, and Von Miller is hugging him from behind. Just a nice hug, making him feel like, hey, I'm here for you, but let's take this to the ground. And Jackson says no, and he throws him off of him, rolls back, pulls an Eli Manning, and heaves it. And then the ball gets tipped on the sideline. My brother pointed out it's unbelievable that no one not only went out of bounds, they caught it inbounds, but no one went out of bounds before that. There was 6 players on the sideline there. 2 Ravens players, a couple Bills players, and I couldn't believe that none of them accidentally stepped out of bounds or lost where they were. And then ball gets tipped, gets caught, and they get a first down on 2nd and 19. So it goes from a 10-yard sack, or 6 to 10-yard sack, which would have led to 3rd and 25, into a first down and in field goal range all of a sudden. They get a sack on the next play, but doesn't matter. Tucker's Tucker, and they had a delay of game. Tucker's Tucker. Rainstorm 51-yarder. I can't believe it. That guy makes everything. 20, and I was hoping as well for one moment where the announcer says, he hasn't missed once this season, and he hasn't missed in 21 tries. Longest active streak. I'm like, yes, jinx him. Just nails it. He doesn't care. It's Tucker. He's jinx-proof. And then, but that's when I wanted to pull my hair out. The Bills then get a nice second quarter drive, and then, kind of spud around, get a couple more touchdowns. The Ravens just completely stopped doing stuff on offense. And then they get a 9-minute drive all the way down the field, get within 5 yards, get in the red zone. It's 4th and 2, 4 minutes left, 2 timeouts for the Ravens, 3 timeouts for the Bills. What do you do? Do you kick it or do you go for it? John Harbaugh goes for it. And now we'll talk about the debate that's screaming across all television networks today. Which is, should he have gone for it, or should he not have gone for it and took the points? He should go for it. He should go for it. People have these arguments of, well, you know, you take the points and you put it on your defense. The best arguments I think I heard were, this is the Baltimore Ravens. And the Baltimore Ravens have a historically great defense. So how can you ignore the history of this team's defense because analytics? And I thought, television? I heard that from more than one person on TV. And I thought, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Because you know who's not on the Baltimore Ravens defense? Ed Reed. As well as, I don't know, Ray Lewis? Ever heard of him? Those guys aren't there anymore. Ray Lewis hasn't been on the Baltimore Ravens for 11 years. Ed Reed hasn't been on the Baltimore Ravens for, I don't know, roughly the same amount of time. The Baltimore Ravens defense has been terrible for almost 2 seasons. The Baltimore Ravens defense has been terrible this year. So, do you go with Lamar Jackson, one of the most dynamic players, on 4th and 2, on 2 yards from the touchdown, and just get it? Or do you kick a field goal and then watch Josh Allen drive down the field and score a touchdown and win the game? I guess you can decide which one makes more sense. That's what I feel it as. That's what I feel like was going to happen. As a Bills fan, I thought, oh, please kick it. Please kick the ball. Kick the ball. Give Buffalo the ball with 4 minutes left. These good quarterbacks, not even great quarterbacks, but good quarterbacks in an offensive league, that's what we're playing in, that's what they're playing in, that's what it is, want the ball last. In this scenario, down by 3, you'd be giving the ball to Josh Allen, a quarterback who is an MVP favorite, has over 1,000 yards passing in 3 games. You're going to give him the ball, who, by the way, has just scored 17 unanswered points on your defense. You're going to give him the ball with 4 minutes and 3 timeouts? Even at the 3-yard line. And then even more so, that factors into it, right? John Harbaugh's not planning on Lamar Jackson to, I'm sorry for everyone who didn't know, threw an interception on that play, on that 4th and 2 play. He throws an interception, they get the ball at the 20, makes it even worse. You don't plan on that either. So then the Bills drive down the field and they kick an easy field goal, but even by more proof on that drive, they just marched down the field and they would have scored the touchdown. They held up, avoided scoring a touchdown so they could just kick a field goal. And that's just with like 2 minutes left. They had plenty of time. It wasn't even close. Really, it was the easiest, most well thought out, methodical drive. And then, of course, people are going to lose it about the roughing the passer call, which, you know, I could see it either way. He hit Allen really late, but he barely hit Allen. So I kind of get it. And you think that won them the game. It didn't win the Bills the game. It just kind of, well, I guess I would say it won them the game, almost won them the game right there. That's when it ended. It's like, okay, now the Bills have the first down. They're in field goal range now. I think they went from the 41 to the 26. And now it's way worse for the Ravens. So it kind of ended the game, but it happened on 1st and 15. And it would have been 2nd and 15. The Ravens are going to be playing off, and they probably would have gotten into field goal range anyway. They're almost in field goal range for Tyler Bass, albeit difficult field goal range, but they were almost in field goal range being at the 41-yard line. I would assume they would have made 10 more yards, and then they would have had a decent option at kicking the ball. But I think Harbaugh made the right decision. You make that decision because you want your best players to make a play. And then you think that the other team's going to get the ball at the 2-yard line, and the Bills are going to be backed up, and you got 4 minutes, you got 2 timeouts, and if the Bills go 3 and out, or maybe 3 and out on the second drive, you'll get the ball back. But also, why not just try to score it? Lamar Jackson is super successful on short yard drives. We can argue about the play call until the cows come home. It doesn't matter. I always want, and thinking about the Bills and Josh Allen, and in the same way, I want them to roll out, play action, roll out, get him on the run, so you can just be, hey, what are you going to do? You going to come up here and try to tackle me in the open field? Good luck. If you come and try to tackle me, you're probably not going to tackle me anyways. This is what Lamar Jackson should be thinking and saying. You're not going to tackle me. So when you come up and try to not tackle me, bring 2 guys. Now you'll tackle me, but who's covering anyone? Mark Andrews. I'm just going to, touchdown. That's what they should have done. That's what I would have hoped they would have done. Obviously, I didn't hope they would have did it then, but when they were going to go for it on 4th down, I got way more scared as a Bills fan than I would have if they kicked the field goal. I said, hell yeah, give Josh Allen the ball with 4 minutes left and 3 timeouts, and they'll win this game. It just doesn't make sense to kick the field goal considering the situation. And yes, it didn't work out, but it wouldn't have worked out either way. We have hindsight of seeing them drive down the field and score a touchdown. And anyone who says, well, I also heard this argument, it deflated the defense. Oh, I'm so deflated they didn't kick the field goal. I'm not going to go out and play defense now. My momentum is crushed. No. They knew they were going to play defense regardless. If he kicks a field goal, if he scores a touchdown, if he doesn't score a touchdown, they're going to go back out on the field right after that. Come on. These are NFL players. Don't tell me they so deflated. How could I get back out on this wet field? I was hoping that we'd have 3 more points to make this easier for me. No, they're NFL players. Don't say garbage like that. You still play the game like you're trying to stop them. You still try to stop them if they score a touchdown. You still try to stop them if they make a field goal. You still try to stop them if they fail on the 4th down. Don't give me that crap. John Harbaugh made the right decision because he knows it's an offensive league and you're playing against one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL who has just been beating up your defense for the past half. That's it.